Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly forecast for Monday, August 30th through Sunday, September 5th. We're already getting into another month and then fall is just around the corner. Anyway, there aren't very many transits this week, actually, major transits, major aspects. Only two. First of all, on Monday, Mercury moves into Libra, okay? On Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo opposes Neptune in Pisces. And on Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra trines Saturn in Aquarius. So, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you to subscribe to my channel. Check out my Ask Me a Question in the description box below there. There's also a link to my website if you would like to have your personal chart done. Remember, this is a general reading, okay? So if you want something more specific, you'd have to have your chart done. Okay, so we're going to start with Aries right away here. Okay, first of all, you know, Libra is your opposite sign. Okay, so the Sun will eventually be moving there, and Mars, let's see, when does Mars? Mars moves into Libra on September 14th. So, you know, you're getting ready for whatever. It is your opposite sign. Sometimes it's a little bit of a low point of the year for you, but I really don't think too much will be going on with anything really for you, just because when a lot of this stuff was happening, the planet Uranus was in your sign, okay, and it's no longer in your sign, so it's in Taurus now, so you don't really have all that much to deal with anymore when Libra season comes along, okay. So anyways, though, Mercury does move into Libra on the 30th, on Monday, but on Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your 6th house opposes Neptune transiting in Pisces in your 12th house. Okay, this is like a really weird transit, okay? The Sun and Mercury have already opposed Neptune. And when Mars comes along, though, this is not like a really comfortable, neither were the Sun and Mercury oppositions, but it's just not a very good transit. Okay, Mars is the ego planet. Neptune is the selfless planet. These two together, especially with Mars is in your house of the workplace and the kind of work that you do and your co-workers. And Neptune is in your 12th house of secrets and behind the scenes matters or occurrences, actions taken by you or someone else. It's also in your house of charity, though, too. So you possibly are being very charitable behind the scenes with someone or an organization even. But this looks like something may occur at work. Okay, they'll put you in a position where you don't feel like you have the equipment or whatever it is that you need to fight back with someone. Let's say your company or a higher up or something. Even a coworker may do something very deceptive at this time that makes you look really, really bad, and you just can't defend yourself. It's a weird kind of transit, okay, because some of this stuff is going on behind the scenes, right? You may be even the one that is possibly doing something like this, but the majority of the time it's actually actions against you. But something that maybe you've done in the past that you might not be real proud of could be coming out at this time. You know, and you're having a hard time defending yourself, or you know, just giving a very good reason for why you did something or said something or whatever. But here it just looks like this isn't a lie again. It's an outright lie, and someone could deceive you in some way or other that sucks you in and tries to make you take steps or actions or something based on the information that they gave you, which is like a very bad idea. Okay, and remember, this is occurring like at work or in the workplace. Sixth house is also the house of service, so this could be someone that you help. I've mentioned this many times before. I believe this is a 50-50 thing where someone needs help and they ask you for a favor, and you also need help. So they do something for you and you do something for them, and it works out for both of you. But there could be some kind of deception going on here with that kind of an arrangement. Maybe, you know, they don't really need your help, or maybe they're not even doing what they said they were going to do for you. You know, so you might want to check up on that. If someone is supposed to be acting on your behalf or doing some kind of favor, make sure that they're actually really doing it. Okay, on Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your 7th house, trine Saturn, transiting in your 11th house of Aquarius. So this is a really nice transit from your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships, okay, to your 11th house of friends and associates, and your group that you hang out with, or anywhere you would normally go to hang out. It's your most sociable house. So you could possibly be, let's say, introducing a close friend to your group of friends, or taking them to some social thing, like an event of some kind, to see a live band or live something or other if you're all going out somewhere. But they help you in some way. Your friend or your partner helps you in like let's say a group setting, or with your friends out somewhere socializing. They help to make you appear more of yourself. They bring out the best in you. Your friends possibly do, but your partner does a little bit more. So they help you to shine, let's say, in a group setting. Okay, for Taurus, on, let's see here, Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your 5th house opposes Neptune, transiting in your 11th house of Pisces. So this is not a very good transit for anybody really right now. Sometimes things happen where you are, this is a deceptive, you know, it's deception. It's just like when the Sun and Mercury also oppose Neptune. But this one with Mars, it makes you feel defeated in some way or other, or unable to defend yourself or stand up for yourself or stick up for whatever. And this is happening in your 5th house of romance and creativity, fun, children. You know, your 11th house where you have Neptune is your house of your friends. It's your most sociable house. At this time, you could find possibly that, like, maybe you've been led astray by someone online, especially in social media, that was something they weren't. You know, you may have told them some things about yourself that aren't really, you know, confidential, but maybe you feel a little bit more exposed to them right now, especially when you were just trying to get to know this person, you know. So whatever you told them about yourself is fine, you know, but now you feel like, I don't know, they could possibly, be laughing at you, or feel like they pulled a fast one on you or something like that. Okay, that's just one possibility. The other is, you know, some kind of encounter with one of your friends, okay, or an organization that you belong to. And this could possibly happen when you're out, if you're physically out socializing, going out to places. If you're not, we're again back to online, okay? But one of your friends or acquaintances could tell you something that it's just, it's a lie. It's not true. It's, they're telling it to you to try to possibly get you to react or act in a certain way, like they want you to do something. Like they could tell you a lie about someone you're dating, you know, or something about your children, your child or something. But as far as someone that you're romantically involved with, they could be just doing that to get you to, I don't know, question this person, or be upset enough to break it off with them, or whatever. Just remember, one of your friends, more than likely, is just bullshitting you, okay? On Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your 6th house, trine Saturn, transiting in your 10th house of Aquarius. So your 6th house is the kind of work that you do, the workplace, your co-workers, your work schedule. A nice trine to your 10th house of career obviously means that you've done something or other at work. Could be in the past, but it looks like it's currently, you are currently like benefiting from it. It could have been work that you've been doing all along, but right now you're getting a lot of recognition for either work that you've done or a client that you've worked for, or they were like your main client or something like that, and they could have actually just put in a very good word for you, or are asking for you specifically in regards to job or work that you're going to do for them. They want you, no one else. Okay, for Gemini, on Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your 4th house opposes Neptune, transiting in your 10th house of Pisces. So this is not a very good transit. The Sun and Mercury have already opposed Neptune, so you know that I'm already going to tell you that it's a lie of some kind. Okay, it's deception. But we're dealing with Mars here, and Mars is a very physically active planet, very energetic, but it's also the ego planet. So whatever is being said here right now is something that makes you feel like your ego is inflated in some way. And because it's occurring in your 4th house of family and your personal life, the people you live with, it could just be a roommate, but it's more than likely family or someone you're very, very close with, maybe saying something to you about your job, your career. The 10th house, where you have the opposition and where you have Neptune transiting right now, it is your career and your public life, your public persona, but how you're known by reputation professionally and personally. So something could be said at this time about you. I don't think it's said publicly, but I think maybe a family member or someone could say something to you that makes you feel like kind of bad about whatever it is that you do for a living, or your personal reputation, period. You know, they could just, this is one of these transits where you feel that you're unable to defend yourself to the point where you can shut this person down. You don't feel like you have the energy anyways. In fact, you may even be in the company of people that you loathe, you know, but it could be for some reason it's family, and you have to be at, who knows, some kind of function, even if it's a family dinner, you know, it's something that you're more than likely not looking forward to, and someone could just say something to you, you know, and it's another thing, though, too, is, again, the lie. Okay, so one of these family members could say something to you to make you feel like they're, whatever it is they do for a living, or what they have done in life, even, that they're far more better off than you are, and, you know, everything's bigger and better in their life as compared to yours, and you know, just one of those kind of people that just, and they're just bullshitting you, really. They're just trying to make you feel bad, more or less. On Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your 5th house, trine Saturn, transiting in your 9th house of Aquarius. So this is a very nice trine from your 5th house of fun and romance, any kind of entertainment, children, amusements of any kind, creativity. having Saturn, a trine to your ninth house where you have Saturn right now, also along with Jupiter, could possibly mean that you might be doing something that is fun, but it's actually the ninth house is many things, but it's the house of learning anything. So somebody could be teaching you something right now. It could be a new dance, music, an instrument possibly, anything that's creative, and it looks like you're able to really like pick it up. You know what I mean? That they're however you are learning, it's something that you're just doing for fun, but it's something that you have in the back of your mind that you'll more than likely use somewhere down the line. This is also a time where you could just be in contact with people who live at a distance or in another country. The ninth house is foreign anything, foreign people, foreign countries, languages even. So it could be something like that, that maybe you are in contact with someone who knows if they've come to visit you, but it's fun in some way or other. Even if it's just a conversation. Okay, for Cancer, on Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your third house opposes Neptune transiting in your ninth house of Pisces. So this transit is one of deception, just like the Sun and Mercury in opposition to Neptune was. Only this one is a little bit more harsh, I think, just because it's very ego deflating. Okay, somebody may tell you something, in the third house where this is transiting right now is the big house of communication. Ninth house also big house of communication. And but ninth house is long distance, and third house is like local. But you could still see, you know, or receive some kind of communication, let's say in the mail, regular postal mail. And it could be ninth house is legal matters, among many other things. Okay, so you could receive something in the mail that tells you you've lost a case or you're being sued or something or other. Okay, well, it's just something to upset you. It's not necessarily true. Okay, ninth house is also the house of publishing and media, so maybe you've even submitted something that you've written, or something that you've done that it doesn't necessarily have to be published in a book. It could be online even. And maybe you received news that it wasn't received very well. You know, it wasn't what they were looking for. A rejection of some kind or other. Rejection notice. Okay. So all of these things, you know, well, one more. Okay, we'll get to a person. A person, okay, your third house is your everyday life and the people you would encounter throughout the normal course of a day. Okay, so we'll say your neighbors, your siblings, your cousins, okay, or any of the businesses that you might frequent throughout the normal course of your day. So someone there could say something to you, and it's just a lot of bullshit, okay, to make you feel inadequate in some way or other. A lot of times you feel that with this transit, the inability to come back with a really quick one-liner, you know, that just gets this person to shut up. You can't like successfully defend yourself, or you just don't feel up to it. Or you may even do one of these things where you're walking down the street and you see somebody that it just gets on your nerves. You may like go out of your way to avoid their path. Okay, whereas any other day you could care less. You in fact would tell them a thing or two. But it's just one of those days where you just don't feel like dealing with anybody that you know is going to hand you a bunch of shit, and that's what this is. Okay, on Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your 4th house, trine Saturn transiting in your 8th house of Aquarius. So, your 4th house is your house of your home, where you physically live and the people you live with. It's your family. It could be a roommate. If you live by yourself, you know, whatever, it's still your home, okay? It's also your personal life, your past, your childhood, and this very nice trine to 8th house of other people's resources and money. Money coming to you through means other than earning it. It's passive money, like money from an inheritance, which could possibly be happening right now. At least you would receive some kind of news, or even some object or other, an heirloom of some kind or whatever. But this is also the house of like institutions like the IRS or a bank, credit card companies. But, you know, it doesn't have to be monetary though either. Sometimes other people's resources are they themselves, like the person themselves. Maybe you need help with something or other and you need to have this certain person, their help. They're the only ones that can help you, let's put it that way. So this would be a good time to do something like that. Approach somebody that you need their assistance in some way or other. For Leo, on Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your 2nd house opposes Neptune transiting in your 8th house of Pisces. So this transit has already occurred with the Sun and Mercury, okay, opposing Neptune. Now we've got Mars doing it, and this one's a little different. We're back to the lie or deception of some kind. This is occurring in your money houses. Your 2nd house is earned income, how you earn your money. 8th house is jointly held property and money, or it's other people's resources and money coming to you through means other than earning it. But this is the house of your bank accounts and credit cards and stuff like that. And I've mentioned quite a few times already that you should be checking those out. Make sure your balances are correct. Make sure no one's running up your credit cards, or you're being charged fees for things that you never even asked for, whatever. But this is one of those times where this transit, because Mars is involved, and Mars is the ego planet, Neptune is the selfless planet, more or less, that someone may do something to you, okay, as far as resources and money go. This, if you do share property with someone, or a partner, or even if you, like, let's say, lent something to someone, something that you, well, it could be money, but it could be anything, okay, that they're going to lie to you in some way or other. If this is a partner, they're going to say they don't know what happened to the money, or that they never ran up that bill, or you know, trying to convince you that the balance on your bank account was never what you thought it was. You're like remembering things incorrectly. You know, you're delusional or something or other. They're going to try to convince you that something didn't happen. Okay, and as far as a friend goes, they may, if they did borrow money off of you, could possibly say that that never happened, or that they already paid you back, or anything that they may have borrowed off of you. But you're put in such a position that you're unable to defend yourself successfully or properly, or like you normally would, you know. Just come out more or less swinging in a way, you know, I mean verbally. But just something here, it happens in such a way that you're just not really able to come back with anything sufficient enough. Okay, so just remember, if somebody tells you something on this day or other, it's not true. More than likely it's not true. On Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your 3rd house, trine Saturn transiting in your 7th house of Aquarius. So this is very nice. You have Mercury in your 3rd house where Mercury rules, okay, big communication and travel house. Nice trine to your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships. Possibly you could either have a conversation or a very nice text message or little email or something between you and a close friend or partner. Maybe involving, let's say, a short trip, possibly. A lot of times, you know, that this is like the house, third house is the house of like a road trip or something like that, or local, it's local travel or something. But it looks like you're able to make some kind of plans with someone. Now, also, the seventh house is arrangements and agreements, and it's also like lawyers. Okay, so both of these are like contracts houses, seventh and third. So somebody, you know, could be offering you something that seems pretty stable. You know, I mean, the trine to Saturn, which rules stability from Mercury, looks like if you are involved in any kind of negotiations, they seem to be fair and to both parties, and something that maybe you should really consider. You could be given a contract at this time. So that right there, that transit looks good, you know what I mean? But the one just on Thursday, I don't know if the two would be combined or connected. Could possibly. So, you know, you don't really have to sign on the dotted line right away. So it's just something to consider. Okay, for Virgo. On Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in your first house in Virgo opposes Neptune transiting in your seventh house of Pisces. So, you know, having Mars in your first house makes you a little bit more aggressive at this time, a little bit more energetic and really enthusiastic and going after what it is that you want, you know, for yourself. You make corrections at this time to especially your partnerships where you have Neptune transiting in Pisces, your seventh house of close relationships and partnerships. So this is when you make corrections in any part of your life that is not going the way you want it to. So if one of your relationships, close relationships, isn't going the way it should be, there's like a lot of deception going on here with this transit. In fact, that's exactly what this transit governs. The Sun and Mercury just did this same aspect, the opposition to Neptune. So it's a lie, more or less. But with Mars here, it kind of puts it in such a way that somebody could really tell you something ridiculously far-fetched even, and expect you to believe it. Okay, it is bullshit, this whatever it is that someone's telling you at this time. In fact, if this is a romantic relationship, and you know they're accusing you or you're accusing them of cheating or something like that, you know, somebody's not really telling the truth here. In fact, a lot of times, if it was you, something that even in a business partnership or a close friend, something that you've done or said could come back to bite you in the ass right now. So it doesn't have to happen at this time. It could have been previously something that somebody wants to throw up in your face, okay? Because of this transit, this combination of these two planets, okay, even though you have Mars in your first house and you are feeling very powerful, you know, you are kind of unable to defend yourself when it comes to whatever someone is saying to you at this time or doing. Or in fact, the seventh house is also the house of open enemies, okay, and competitors. So somebody could take like a shot at you, right, a pot shot, okay, as in verbal, at you at this time, where you just don't feel like you are able to come back with a response to it quick enough or clever enough to ward off whatever it was that this person said or did. Okay. So on Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your second house trine Saturn, transiting in your sixth house of Aquarius. So your second house is your earned income, so from your job or whatever. So your sixth house is your job. okay? Your, well, the kind of work that you do, and your co-workers, and the actual physical building even where you work. So it looks like you are possibly getting an increase in income in some way or other, or some new line of work, possibly a side job or something like that, a new source of income. You know, having Mars in your first house does make you, again, very enthusiastic about going after things like that right now. So more money in one way or other, even in your present job, or even if you're retired, you know, there's still some kind of side venture that you're interested in that is more than likely beginning to pay off. Okay, for Libra, on Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your 12th house opposes Neptune transiting in your 6th house of Pisces. So having Mars in your 12th house is like two things, okay? First of all, Mars is a very energetic and physical planet, and it does bring about actions by you or someone else in your 12th house of secrets. Okay, so it's secret moves made by you or someone else. Also, a lot of times, well, for you, we'll say, you know, Mars and your actions are making you shore things up and protect yourself or protect your interest in some way or other, because Mars is getting ready to move into your first house, and you may be preparing to make some kind of big move or other. But right now you're preparing for that move, and you're not letting anyone know about it because you're just protecting your interest. You're protecting yourself, okay? Also, though, a lot of times Mars in the 12th house means that there is someone acting in secret against you in some way or other. Usually it is someone who claims to be a friend. Okay, this is the jealousy transit, kind of. You know, it's like you have a friend or associate that, you know, they are secretly jealous of you, and they undermine you every time or every chance that they get. But now more so when Mars is in your 12th house. So it could be one or two of those things. Now, the opposition to Neptune in your 6th house of the workplace, the kind of work that you do, and your co-workers, I would have to say it's somebody you work with or somebody that you do business with in some way or other, but it looks like they affect your livelihood in some way. Okay, now the Sun and Mercury have already opposed Neptune. Now it's Mars's turn, okay? So I've mentioned when the Sun and Mercury did these things, it's a lie, okay? Well, Mars, exact same thing, only it's put in such a way that you aren't able to really defend yourself adequately against whatever is said or done. You know, a lot of times you don't even feel up to it. You don't feel like dealing with that person. Too much crap has already happened, and, you know, you're just tired of it. So it's something like that. You know, somebody could even try to take credit for your work, and or steal let's say, a client from you, or some kind of opportunity that you had going for you. You know, so whatever. Couple different things here. It won't even last that long, so whatever. Okay, on Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your first house, trine Saturn transiting in your 5th house of Aquarius. So this is a very nice transit from your first house, okay, your personality, trine to your 5th house of romance and fun and creativity, where you have Saturn here and also Jupiter. They're evening out here, you know, just having Saturn here for a while by itself without Jupiter being here made, like, let's say if you have children, made them a source of worry possibly, or feeling burdensome in some way or other. Also, in romance, you just felt like your feelings were all dried up, you know, you just weren't even interested in romance possibly, or the romance that you were in was like so boring, you just couldn't stand it anymore, you know. But now that Jupiter came back here, they're evening out, so life is a little bit more interesting again in this area. Okay, so that's exactly what it is. You may decide to get together with your children or a child, or do something in order to have fun. You know, you're looking to have fun. So you could do this even with a romantic partner, but this is also the house of creativity. So this could be a time where some kind of collaboration or other does like really well for you, or some kind of setup that you have going for you. Like it continues, but it's almost like it's enhanced in some way or other. For Scorpio, on Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your 11th house opposes Neptune transiting in your 5th house of Pisces. So this transit, okay, has already occurred with the Sun and Mercury, opposition to Neptune. Okay, so now Mars is here, and it is in your 11th house of your friends and associates, any kind of organization or group that you belong to. It's social media, it's your most sociable house. Okay, but it's like where you would normally go to hang out and the people you would hang out with. Okay, the opposition to your 5th house of romance and fun, creativity, gambling, children, you know, all kinds of fun stuff, but it's entertainment of any kind. So these are the fun houses, the 11th and 5th. This opposition, though, looks like one of your friends or an acquaintance or somebody in your group or whatever may tell you something possibly about someone that you're dating, or that more than likely is not true. Okay, this is like another thing of just like bullshit. Okay, in fact, they could possibly maybe used to date this person also and could be telling you all kinds of lies about them. This is also, again, about the children in your 5th house. Somebody could tell you something about your child, you know, that their child told them that this or that happened at school, and it could be totally false. This is the house of speculation, the 5th house, and having Neptune here means that your speculation sometimes is good, sometimes it isn't. You know, you'd have to use your whatever psychic ability you have in order to figure out what to play or how much or anything like that. But a lot of times having Neptune here makes you see gambling as like a source of, I don't know, an adventure of some kind. Okay, so you may actually gamble money away, or even a relationship as far as romance goes, or, you know, just you're not seeing some of these things very clearly. Okay, so when this Mars comes along and opposes Neptune in these houses, it puts you in a position where whatever happens or whatever is said at that time that makes you feel really uncomfortable, you know, it could be just an outright lie that someone tells you. You really don't have the ability to come back with some way to successfully defend yourself. That makes you feel inadequate in some way, or it's an ego deflator. Okay, so you just might want to keep that in mind, that anyone you encounter on this day that tries to pull the wool over your eyes, that's exactly what they're doing, and not to really take it seriously. On Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your 12th house trines Saturn transiting in your 4th house of Aquarius. So having Mercury in your 12th house of secrets and psychic ability there too. Okay, but this is the house of snooping and investigation. When Mercury's here, it makes you check things out behind the scenes, or possibly even in secret. It may not be like a big deal, you know, but it's not like you're going around telling everybody, hey, I'm checking up on so-and-so or whatever. Okay, now this trine to your 4th house of your home and family, the people you live with, even if it's a roommate, This is your past and childhood. That means that maybe you are just checking up on something in regards to a family member, or you could be approaching a family member, or they you, and you have some kind of secret arrangement of some kind, possibly, maybe even if it's just information, you could tell them something or they could tell you. Looks like it's a secret that someone is possibly telling you, but it's like a family secret, and it's not something bad. You know, it looks like it's fairly good news. For Sagittarius, okay. On Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your 10th house opposes Neptune transiting in your 4th house of Pisces. So this is, you know, this is a transit that already had the Sun and Mercury oppose Neptune. Okay, so now we have Mars doing the same thing. And, you know, when I have these aspects, I always say this is a lie. Okay. But usually what happens with this Mars opposed Neptune is, first of all, you have Mars in your 10th house of your career and your public life. How you're known by reputation, professionally and personally, and how people view you and even speak about you publicly. Okay. 4th house is your personal life and your family, your home life. It's where you actually live. Okay. This opposition puts, like, makes you feel in a way, okay, because Mars is the ego planet, okay, so it, you know, it makes you feel like a bit ego deflated in some way or other by something that someone says, usually says to you. They could possibly do something, but I really can't see anything like that coming out at this time. You know, it's almost like possibly a family member or someone you live with, like a roommate or something, or even somebody from your past, okay, because your 4th house is also your past, but it's your personal life. Somebody that is close to you may say or do something that makes you feel like whatever it is that you do for a living is inadequate in their eyes, or you could do so much better, or why haven't you done better, or you know, whatever. They're just like picking you apart in such a way that they possibly compare you. You know how relatives are, you know, they compare you to someone else, probably a relative, you know, that is successful or whatever. But a lot of times this transit, it's a lie. You know, whoever is saying something like this to you is handing you like just a bunch of bullshit. In fact, they could even be telling you something about your livelihood or whatever field you're in that isn't even true. You know, that like maybe you'll be obsolete soon enough or something. Or as far as your reputation goes, you know, they could say, you know, people say this or that about you, and it's a lie. It's a lie. This person is lying to you. But again, it happens in such a way that you're able to successfully defend yourself against whatever it is that they're saying, because I would say the only reason I could see something like that happening here is because it's a relative, and probably an older relative, like an aunt or uncle or somebody that you're supposed to show respect for, you know, whatever. But this thing will pass, okay? It's a passing transit, and this is a general reading, okay? So anyways, on Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your 11th house trine Saturn, transiting in your 3rd house of Aquarius. So this is really nice, okay, having Mercury in your 11th house of friends, the group that you hang out with, any kind of organization that you belong to, where you would normally go to hang out. It's also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. Okay, so Mercury's here now. All these other planets are going to be moving here. Venus is here in Libra, so you've already been socializing enough. You know, if you're able to get out in person, that's wonderful. If not, you're on social media. And this very nice trine from your most sociable house to your 3rd house of communications and travel among other things, many, many other things. But this is the big house of like local travel or regular postal mail, email, voicemail, you know, text messages, things like that. So I would have to say that you may hear from a friend, you know, around this date, possibly some kind of communication. It could be on social media though too, but if you're not just hearing from someone, you could actually be making plans with your group of friends to do something, some kind of attend some kind of an event, outing or something like that. Okay, for Capricorn, on Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your, let's see here, 9th house opposes Neptune transiting in your 3rd house of Pisces. So, okay, so both of these are communication and travel houses. Your 9th house, though, is also your house of, like, your personal philosophy on life, your religious and spiritual beliefs, your background, your cultural background and everything. Your 3rd house is another communication and travel house, but, excuse me, it's the written word. It's regular postal mail, email, text message, voicemail. 9th house is long distance communications, phone call, long distance phone call, possibly even from someone who lives in another country, whatever. But this transit, okay, has already occurred with the Sun and Mercury both opposing Neptune. So if you listen to my previous weeklies, you know that I always say it's a lie. Okay, an opposition to Neptune is a lie. It's deceitful. So that's exactly what this is here with Mars. Okay, except Mars is puts you in kind of a position just due to the fact that Mars is the ego planet. Okay, so you having it right now in your 9th house, let's say, of even higher learning and knowledge. You know, maybe you know for sure that you know something, okay, and that you're correct. You're right. You're the one that's right, okay? In this opposition to Neptune in your 3rd house of any kind of communication, okay? But 3rd house is also your neighbors and your siblings. It could be anyone actually, but you could have some kind of conversation with someone where they outright lie to you, and it could be something about even your neighborhood that where you all live. You know, maybe they have lived there longer than you have, so they're you know the authority on whatever's gone down in this area, and you know, and you don't know what you're talking about, or even a sibling or a cousin or something like that could just tell you something that it just doesn't make any sense, you know. It could be a lie, though, outright lie. They could be really trying to deceive you. Okay, 9th house is also legal matters, so it could be something like that even, where someone is trying to pull a fast one on you in a way, possibly trying to get you to deal, you know, or accept something, you know, even if it's a settlement or something like that. So it's not a good idea to do anything like that right now under this kind of transit, because someone is just really outright bullshitting you, okay? And again, though, you aren't able to really defend yourself properly, okay, for whatever reason. If it is a relative, it could be for that reason, or if it's a neighbor or something like that, it could be because you don't want to make waves. But you're put in a position where you feel inadequate in some way or other, okay? On Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your 10th house trines Saturn transiting in your 2nd house, you know, of Aquarius. So your 10th house is your house of your career, what you do for a living. It's your personal and professional reputation. It's your most public house in your chart. It's how people view and speak about you publicly. So having Mercury here right now means that that's exactly what people are discussing you, even if it's just in conversation. For some reason your name keeps coming up. but it's your job, your livelihood, and a very nice trine to your second house of earned income, where you have Saturn right now and also Jupiter, means that you could possibly be getting along with, let's say, a higher up or a mentor, or they could be taking you under their wing and possibly giving you work that increases your income in some way or elevates your position in such a way that you will be earning more money than anyone else or your co-workers or something like that. Okay, for Aquarius, on Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your 8th house opposes Neptune transiting in your 2nd house of Pisces. So this is a transit of deception. Okay, and I've mentioned, I don't know how many times, having Neptune in your 2nd house, that you should check your valuables and make sure they're still there. You probably have them locked away and you just figure they're there. You don't check them all that often. You might want to do something like that, especially under transit like this, because this is having Mars in your 8th house of other people's resources and money and shared debt and shared jointly held property and bank accounts and credit cards. Okay, these are the money houses, the 2nd and 8th house. Okay, 2nd is yours, how you earn your income. 8th is passive money coming to you through means other than earning it, but it's also a partner's money and resources or jointly held property. So there's something going on here, obviously. Okay, Mars is the energizer here in your 8th house, so somebody could be making some kind of move against you in such a way. It could be a partner, but this house also rules institutions like the bank or credit card companies, or this is insurance payouts or legal settlements. Maybe someone is trying to either take away something, like make whatever it was that you were supposed to receive a lot less than the amount that you were supposed to get. They could outright lie to you and say, well, the settlement was for this, or your insurance payout is for this, or even insurance could lie to you and say, well, we don't cover stuff like that. Check your policy. They'll do anything to get out of paying for insurance that you've been paying for how long, so it's something like that. Just don't believe anything that anyone tells you right now about money or resources, or in fact, even anyone saying, oh, I can't do that for you, I can't help you in any ways because I don't have the money. And that's pretty much probably a lie right there. Okay, on Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your 9th house, trine Saturn transiting in your 1st house of Aquarius. It's a very nice trine from your 9th house of higher learning and knowledge, publishing, media, legal matters, foreign anything, foreign people, countries, travel, languages. It's your philosophy on life, though. It's your house of your philosophy, your opinions, your spiritual and religious beliefs, and whatever. But these things, all of these things that I've just mentioned, are complementing your personality in such a way that whatever it is that you know, or it makes you feel secure in your knowledge, okay, or yourself, or your beliefs, or how you were raised even, because this is your cultural background. So, it doesn't really mean anything, unless you have a discussion with someone at this time that, and it could be, about whatever certain subjects, and someone could just notice that you know an awful lot about a certain subject. Okay, so it could be something like that that kind of brings you to notice that you feel pretty good about yourself, pretty much. For Pisces, on Thursday, September 2nd, Mars in Virgo in your 7th house opposes Neptune transiting in your 1st house in Pisces. So this is the transit of deception again. Okay, so the Sun and Mercury already just did this very same transit, but this is Mars speaking now. Okay, and Mars is in your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships. And when Mars is here, it makes people very aggressive towards you. A partner, usually a romantic partner, they may be trying to get you to do something, act in a certain way that they want you to, or do something or not do something or whatever, but they're pretty pushy. And as far as a business partner goes, the same thing. They may be trying to take the business out of your hands and run it themselves, or they're just going to run it whatever way they want to, and who cares about whatever you want. And this is also the house of close friends, too. So one of them could be kind of aggressive at this time, too, and getting on your nerves. And this is also the house of open enemies and competitors. Okay, so I've mentioned this before, you know, people come out of the woodwork to just like push your buttons when Mars is in your 7th house. And this is one of those times, only this is a lie, okay, it's a deception. At this time, your competitor or an open enemy, let's say, an open enemy is someone that everyone knows you two don't get along. So it's not a big deal, you know, because everybody's aware of it, so it's no secret or whatever. So they could say something or do something at this time to, you know, get your tail end up or whatever, to upset you in some way. But it's a lie, okay, whatever it is that they're doing or implying even. And the same thing with a romantic partner or a business partner. They're making it look as if something or other is going on, but it actually isn't. They're implying or insinuating that if you don't, you know, do whatever, that they're gonna, you know, your romantic partner has like all these people after them and they could pick and choose whoever they want, you know, which is probably a big lie. And the business partner could say that they have all these opportunities lined up and they don't need you and whatever, and that's also a lie. And the open enemy is just an asshole to begin with, so why even discuss them, right? So on Sunday, September 5th, Mercury in Libra in your 8th house trines Saturn transiting in your 12th house of Aquarius. So this is very nice, okay? Your 8th house is other people's resources and money. Okay, it's money through insurance payouts, legal settlements, taxes, returns possibly, refunds of some kind, credit card companies, the bank, winnings, prize money. Okay, so your 12th house is the house of secrets and behind the scenes occurrences, where you have Saturn and also Jupiter transiting right now. So you could possibly have someone helping you at this time. It could be, you know, I want to say a relative, but it doesn't have to be, but somebody could be helping you possibly with money or resources that they have. And resources could also be just help in general. You know, sometimes people themselves are a resource because either knowledge that they know, or just even just putting in a good word for you, or doing something like introducing you to someone that can help you, you know, something like that. But it looks like you know, something's happening where it's helping you feel a little bit more secure, possibly about a worry that you had. Okay, so I hope everyone enjoyed their astrological forecast for this week. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Check out my monthly forecasts. Check out my Ask Me a Question and the link to my website if you want your personal chart done. Those are both below in the description below this video. And I will see you next week. Goodbye.